Hey everyone, welcome back to my latest trapping video. Today we'll be doing an overview of one of our viewers' rally traps. He's actually a rain trap, and I'll go over everything in this account, basically how you can build it and all that. You don't need to be as high might as him. He is 400 million might. That's only because he did other research and stuff like that. I'll show you like a basic research for rain trap as well after this, but we'll go over what he has. It does work. He's trapped a bunch of people and all that, so this setup works very well, and I'll go over everything you need to know about rain traps and all that today, and then you can build your own rain trap. So the first one is going to be the gear. So this is his gear. It is like basic gear. I mean, it's not like crazy gear. You don't need crazy gear for this. He only has like 350% mixed stats, I believe. We'll look at that. Yeah, he said like 350-ish mix, a little bit lower in cav, but that's fine. As long as the range is high, because that's going to be his rain. And then you can see it's just basic research on all that, and his HP is actually quite high. It's 375. With tier 4 research, you usually have higher, and he's got what's called the Ultra Boost going on right now, I believe. Let's check that out. Yeah, he's got the max ultra boost. He's got 35 days on that. That's a good thing about a rally trap is you can actually get those ultra boosts pretty easily because you can actually hold on to leaders because you're a rally trap and people rally you and you get more leaders. So that's kind of how it goes. Yeah, that's without obviously a prison boost or anything like that. So those are his basic stats if you guys are wondering. So like I said, it's not crazy. It's just mid 350s. You don't need 400 plus or anything crazy like that. This is actually easily attainable free to play because my war gear actually has better stats than his war gear. He does have more HP though, so that's the only thing. He does have better, like his boots give a good HP and all that. So that's a basic setup, not crazy gear or anything like that. So you don't need crazy gear for this setup. You just need a good comp. And basically, I'll show you the research too. So the research he's done. That's not research. Sorry about that. That was the wrong button. That is not the research. Where's the hell of the research? There it is. There's the research thing. So they're a basic thing. Obviously, you need the tier 4 or basically basic military research. So completely max. He has everything. You technically don't need the destroyers, but on this account he does have it. So if you're doing like a basic rally or rain trap, I think this is more of his main account, so that's why he's going to have extra research. But yeah, as a basic, just if it's just your rain account, you probably don't need the destroyers. Economy is obviously max because you need that. You don't actually need max gem harvesting to unlock tier 4, so that's not needed actually. Defense is up to you if you want a wall or not. That's up to you. I don't think you really need a wall, but you can have a wall. So this is just basic wall research. It's not very much wall research, so not much might in there. He's got a lot of monster hunting might, so this is not needed. If you want a rain trap, you could basically just go to tier 2 if you want, or whatever, just like basic solo trapping stuff like that. You don't need monster hunting, but like I said, I think this is his main account, so he does have the monster hunting, and that's why when we look at his actual like might and all that, you see he's like 200 million in research might, not needed for the range trap, but like I said, it's his main account, so he wants to have it, so it's up to you because you can get rallied no matter what. It's basically how you bait. If you can bait the rally, you're a trap because as long as your comp is good and you have like everything set up properly, like this is all not needed here. But I'm just showing you why his research might is much higher. Same thing with this. The only thing you really need is the breakthrough if you want to get the mythic gear. Let's see, familiars, if you want extra familiars, I think he has 3 unlocked. Yeah, so if you want 3 familiars, you can do that. That's actually needed. Upgrade military, if you want the quick swaps and all that, that's in here. It's fine at this, so he's got a couple quick swaps. He got 4, but like I said, main account, so he's going to have a little bit more. Familiars, this just unlock the packs to get the familiars that you want, so that's up to you. Familiars will be totally dependent on what you go up to. I think you only really need to go up to pack 3 for familiars, but it's up to you where you want to go on that. Wonder battles and sigils obviously not needed. So basically just stick military, don't need monster hunting, upgrade military for the quick swaps and stuff like that. It's basically like kind of like a solo trap would be, the same sort of research, plus probably a couple more familiars if you want, because you actually can afford the might a little bit more as a rally trap, because it doesn't really matter where you are really, unless you're like 180 mil. That's the only kind of time you might want to keep your might low because you're trying to be a super low might trap. If not, like 2 to 400 mil, people will rally you anyways, so not a big deal there. So next thing we'll actually go is the familiars. So we'll show you what his familiars are, and then I'll kind of do a what maybe you should have. So those are his wall heroes. So he's got basically free-to-play heroes. He doesn't have all the pay-to-play heroes or anything like that. His account is really basic free-to-play slash freemium, which I would say. So that just means you spent a little bit of money, but you haven't spent tons of money. So he hasn't got any like pay-to-play heroes. So basic free-to-play heroes, the army attack. So basic like what's called rally trapping and all that. So or solo trapping heroes, same thing. So you can change up the heroes based on that. He's a what's called. He's got 2 cav, 2 infantry, and a range hero on there. So that's up to you what ones you want. You can add an extra range hero in there if you want, but it's really up to you at that point. And then his familiars here. So Evil Weevil, very good. So once you max that, it increases your own max HP. So I think it's up to 15% on that one. These two, maybe not so much. Personally, I wouldn't choose these two, but obviously these aren't like high level or anything like that. He just has the basic ones. The reason for that is because you probably don't want to lose up to 10% of your troops every time you take a rally. You can obviously, but if you have like 8 or 9 million troops, that's you're losing troops every time just to activate these. So you probably want something that's a little more reliable, and I'll show you what those are. So Evil Weevil is good. Or yeah, so I've said that, and then Aquarius is the other one. That's what I run on my solo trap. I'll just show you what that does. Wrong one. I think it's in pack B. There it is, Aquarius. So you look at that, maxed. It actually reduces your enemy's HP by 15% at the start. So basically you're doing 15% more, and they just don't have as much HP, so you can take them out faster and cap them easier. So that's a good one to have. The other one is good to have is, where is it? Not there. It is the Sorcerer. Is it Sorcerer? Yeah, Sorcerer. So this one's a very good one. He's actually a range trap. I should probably state that. He is a range trap. So if you're going to be taking basically your front line, you're going to be taking damage in range phalanx, so you're going to be taking range attack. So this one actually increases your max range HP by 80%. Oh, actually, this one 10% of your range troops have fallen too. That's maybe not as good as I thought it was. I thought it was at the start of the battle, so maybe not that one. Sorry, I was totally going off on a tangent there. I was like, oh, that one's really good, and then I don't use it. So Pyrus is the other good one. It increases at the start of the battle. that's the other one. Increases your hero's attack, so you do more damage to them. Right off the start, so your heroes are doing much more damage every time they hit. Instead of 200%, it's 260% or whatever, so it's really, really good. So anything that starts off the beginning of the battle is usually a good thing, because you want to do as much damage to start. Once they have less troops, it doesn't really matter as much, because, I mean, if you've already lost, let's say, 10% of your troops, that's a lot of your troops, so you might not want that, but maybe as a rain trap, it's okay, because you're not actually losing troops at that point. It's okay to activate at that time. So you can basically play around with that, but that's not the biggest issue. So the next one will be the troops. So yes, that's actually one of the main parts of these raid traps is what troops you actually want to have. So for this one, rain trap, he went 700,000 of each tier 4. So he has a little bit higher than other raid traps might have. Tier 2 is 3 million glads, 2 million reptilian riders, then he has about 348,000 tier 2 sharpshooters. So usually you probably, once they get into tier 4, a lot of that is actually your Reins that are taking a lot of damage, so it's not a big deal. So you can actually take a lot more damage on these traps than, let's say, a regular rally trap, because you start losing troops, obviously, if you do that. Or you have to take, let's say, tier 4, what's called tier 2 reinforcements to help reduce that. So this is one way to actually reduce that and actually do more damage at the same time, so you can take all tier 4, so you can take more damage and do more damage at the same time. So the tier 1 is basically just to stop any piracies and stuff like that come in, because you don't want to be sitting there with no tier 1 and all of a sudden you get pirates 20 times and all of a sudden you've lost all your tier 2, because that hurts a lot, actually. So that's when piracies start hurting. So you have the tier 1 just for that, and the rest is just tier 2, tier 4. You don't need tier 3 at all, so don't have any of that in there. It doesn't help you at all. So that's the basic setup there. He's going to take range reinforcements, send range phalanx. I mean, he can go into infantry or cav, but That's very rare, I believe, when you're taking a rain attack. I mean, unless you're litigating full countered, you probably won't switch, because you probably just don't want to take all the damage. And it's better to not lose troops and just have wounded troops that way. The only counter to this actually is if they blackwing you, because then your Reins are losing a ton of deaths too. Because normally you might have, let's say, 600, 700,000 infirmaries. So if a Blackwing comes in, it's not the worst thing ever, because you're losing some tier 2, only a little bit tier 4, or whatever. I mean, it hurts, but it's not the costliest thing. It's just when you're taking reinforcements and that Blackwing hits all your reinforcements, and all of a sudden your allies have a million dead tier 4. That's when it hurts. So that's the kind of the counter to this. But it's also expensive because Blackwing costs a lot to use. So that's the Hellfire one. So the next one we're going to go over is actually the might on this castle. So might is up here. So as you can see, the research there is 204 million. So you don't need 204 million to do this. I'll show you my rain trap that's kind of a shell, and kind of compare this to show you. He's also got 30 million in quest. You obviously don't need that much might in quest either, but like I said, it was a main account he turned into a rain trap, so that's what it is. So the main thing is the 126 million might in troops. So that's basically all the troops you have there. So that's going to be 126 million might. And I'll show you mine. And yeah, so comparing that to, let's say, my what's called shell of a rally trap that I'm currently building. This is kind of the difference in the research. So technically you only need, let's say, 64 plus a little bit for familiars, because I haven't really unlocked many familiars on this one. If you want more familiars, you can have more might. So add like 4 million might. Say 68 million research just for all that. That's really all you need. This also doesn't have as many heroes or anything like that, so the hero might's lower and the quests are lower. It could have been 0, but whoever made this added some quests on there, so it's a little higher. But you could actually keep that much lower at, say, under a million or whatever like that, and you can still hit level 60 and all that. So you can even drop it even lower. So the base is all that, and the buildings is also not too high, because I can show you the buildings here. This is all these what's called these ones here. You can all delete those, so you'd lose even that. So you'd probably only have like 6 or 7 million in buildings, so even lower than that. So your base might could be around, let's say, what would that be if I went in there? And where was it here? So let's see. Let's say 64. Let's say about 6 on that. So it'd be 70. You can take that out. You don't need it. You don't even need the quest. So it's 70 player level, 80. Let's say 85 million would be a good base might for your rally trap, and then you add, let's say, 120 million, same troop comp, and then you could be at 200 mil instead of 400 mil. So that depends on what you want to do. You don't actually need to do that. So anyways, that was actually the end there. I went over everything. Hopefully you guys can actually build your own after this. Thank you for Cruse for letting me do the overview of your account. That actually shows a really good rain trap account, and it actually caps rallies and all that stuff. Like I said, you don't need super high what's called stats. I think this rally trap's going to have higher stats, but that's just because it was more of a pay-to-play, what's called base anyways. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.